we're right in the middle of summer, which means spending time outside the house, and what better place than to spend some time in your own yard. Joining us now with some easy lawn care tips to keep your lawn weed-free. Lawn specialist Charles Harris. Good to see you this morning. Happy Friday.
Good to see you. Yeah, you too. You too. It's great to be here.
Well, tell me, what's the #1 thing to do in terms of your lawn and trying to keep it green?
Well, you know, Larry, the first thing is you got to understand what type of grass you have.
Okay.
And what I have here is a Harmony Home Tall Fescue. This is a fescue bluegrass mix. Up here in D.C., most people are growing a fescue. It's a cool season grass, so it's going to grow from like September to May.
Okay.
That's its growing season. So right now we're outside of the growing season. So the biggest thing to think about with this is you don't want to fertilize it now. You don't want to aerate it now. The biggest thing you want to do is just make sure you're watering properly.
Okay.
A lot of the biggest thing I see is overwatering. If you're overwatering, you'll create a lot of fungus and a lot of diseases and a lot of problems like that. You know, I've got a couple things here. Your lawn only requires 1 inch of water a week.
Okay.
That's all the water it needs.
Okay.
I've got a couple of things here, either through putting it out there with your sprinkler system or from supplemental rainfall. So we've had a lot of rain lately, and really you don't really need your lawn on. But how do you measure that 1 inch? I mean,
right. That's what I've always wondered. Yeah.
What does that do? And I've got there's a couple tools. You can go to your local garden center, and these rain gauges are very simple. They measure 1 inch or 2 inch. If I got a ½ inch, those kind of things, and you just add it up for the week.
Okay.
Another easy way to do it is I got these tuna cans up here, and you say, well, what do you have tuna cans up here? These tuna cans, if you have tuna cans or something like that, you can space those out in the yard and just kind of measure how much water you're putting out. So if you're running your sprinkler system for 15 minutes or 20 minutes and wondering, well, how much water am I putting out? You can simply do that. These are about 1 inch deep.
Really?
So
Okay.
if you're doing a ½ inch or so, ideally you're putting about 4 or 5 tenths of an inch out at one watering, and doing that a couple times a week. Good deep watering, get the roots going deep, and that's really the most important thing this time of year, is you just make sure you're properly watering, not over watering, because that'll get you into the fungus and those kind of things where you'll be using a lot of these other products.
I was going to say, we've had so much rain this year, one of the wettest years on record. If you've got that kind of fungus, what is something like this? What can that do?
Yeah, well, when you get a fungus in July and August, and that's when these plants, these cool season grasses are at their weakest. So that's when they can get those, when it's really hot, humid, and wet. So these products will, these like a Daconil here, just very available. They will take care of that fungus, and then you're just kind of waiting for September and October to come, when you can aerate and fertilize and do those kind of things and kind of grow out of it. Yeah. So you just don't want to. These are kind of controlled products, and you can put these out. One other tip with these products is, if you want to do preventative, it takes about half the product as it does if you already have a problem. If you have a problem, you're going to have to use about twice as much product to fix it as you would if you were just preventing.
Again, thinking ahead, planning ahead. I know we've got one more thing here, some grub killer. Tell us about this.
Yeah, well, right now, if your lawn, grubs are something that we deal with in the fall. Generally, you'll kind of see the grubs coming up in your lawn in September and October, and the products out there now, you can go treat this now, and that'll disrupt the cycle for those grubs, and you won't have to deal with them. So that is another thing you could do right now too.
Okay, there we go. Do you have a website for tips?
I do. HarmonyBrands.com.
Okay.
We've got a lot of great information out there, so you can find us at all your local home improvement garden centers.
Okay. So. And I know you're over at RFK resodding here this weekend.
We are.
Right?
We're resodding RFK Stadium this weekend.
Awesome.
So we sure are after that concert. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charles Harris, thanks so much.
Great.
Good to see you. Great information.
To
We appreciate that.
Sure thing.
Okay, thanks.